welcome everyone to Two Guys and Their Gym Talk Show. This is a weekly, yes, it is a weekly live show and audio podcast. So Noel and I are here every Mondays to talk to you about health and fitness, and we share stories with the aim to inspire you to be an achiever, inspire you to be a hero in your life. So this is episode 51. Noel and I are streaming through Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
We're streaming and we are wanting to wish all of y'all happy Valentine's. It's great to be back. It's great. It's just so much happened behind the scenes, right? It's like I was telling Alvin this now because normally when we log on, the browser remembers our settings and all that, but even the browser didn't recognize us. I had to allow my mic, allow my photos, everything. So, but that's great. It's good to be back. That's what I meant. I was really looking forward to today. Alvin and I have been looking forward to today. We prepared something a little special. We're going to have a little interactive Q&A today, which is going to kind of determine also the path of our next few episodes as we get onto our new series. But before we get into that, tell us, comment below, where are you streaming in from? Question number one, where are you streaming in from? And also, where's my question, Alvin? You see?
What is one thing that never fails to make you smile? I love that.
Where are you streaming in from? And what is that one thing that never fails to make you smile? And I'll go first. I'm streaming in from Kuala Lumpur, TTDI. The one thing that never fails to make me smile is watching any episode, even just 30 seconds, of Mr. Bean. It's on YouTube, right? Like it's got hours and hours of Mr. Bean episodes on YouTube. So it would never fail to make me smile, make me laugh even. And not many things can make me do that. So I love doing that on YouTube. And that's for me. What about you, Alvin? What is one thing that never fails to make you smile?
I'm tuning in from Kajang, and the one thing that never fails to make me smile are babies' laughters. So when babies laugh, it's really, really cute, and indirectly it just makes you smile. I feel like they have that charming energy, no matter how angry you are. When baby just smile, and then you also will just smile along. And anything besides the smile that comes out from the baby is bonus lah. And I'm saying this because I got a lot of niece and nephew, and I watched them growing up, and those moments were some of my joyful moments after a long day at work. Coming home, seeing them just makes me smile. So babies' laughter. So do share with us as we're going to look through the comments.
That's a good one, Alvin. But there's also there's lots of this viral videos where you hear babies like laughing on the background, which immediately reminds me of that. And it's true. You can't hear that and not smile. Love that. So, my friends, thank you for being here Monday night. It's our comeback episode as we're announcing our new series for the weeks to come. But before we get a little deeper into today's topic, comment below, where are you streaming in from? We want to get to know you. And we have our regulars also streaming in. Thank you all for being here. We're going to read the comments soon on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So comment where you're streaming in from and what is that one thing that would always make you smile. What do we have in store for everyone today? Alvin.
Our next segment, we're going to invite everyone to head over to Facebook. As you can see, there are color changes. We're wondering like, what happened to the purple colors and now it's gray? That because we have what we want to introduce to you, a little series. So before this, you have Two Guys and Their Gym, and we have guests around. But with 51 episodes moving forward, Noel and I would like to introduce to you our new series, which is Go-To Places and Options for Healthy Eating. So when it comes to weight loss, building muscles, a lot of our clients ask us, what are some healthy foods options that we have in Kajang, in KL? And we often list down the options for them, and pretty much very similar places. And a lot of people may not know that some of these options are healthy, or some of these restaurants and cafe do offer healthy food. So in this series,
Yeah.
Noel and I want to highlight everything in terms of healthy eatings, in terms of places, cafes, restaurants that you can go, and at the same time help you stick with your goal. So our aim is to create awareness for healthy eatings, and we are going to highlight all the places that are committed in helping you to achieve that. Now, before I dive forward, I want to ask Noel this. Noel, where is your favorite restaurant or your normal go-to place for any healthy eating?
It's a very difficult question. That's why we came up with the series. But I think there's always seasons because sometimes you're eating one thing and then you hop onto another thing and then you discover something else. So I think it always changes. So I'll share what I'm currently into right now by just saying what I had for lunch today. For lunch, Kim ordered this because this is one of our default go-tos. We ordered from Nando's. She had We had some Nando's chicken, and of course we always go for the extra spicy as you can get, the one that burns your lips. That's the one we go for. So we got a half chicken, and we had the two portions of the grilled veggies and one portion of the rice, which we split. Came up to around 40 ringgit, and what was cool was, I think, on the Grab app there was some offer. There's always some offer going on. But we have a default go-to, which is like Nando's just won't disappoint. And of course, there's many others, which is again why we're having this series to discover that. So one of my some of my favorites, Elvin, not just one. One will be Nando's. I know I can go there and get a healthy meal. It's
Mhm.
also lately been Kobe's and Kale. The thing is that, well, they're based in Sunway, and every time I order from them, I have to pay like 16 ringgit in delivery charge. But at least they
Wow.
deliver up. It's a lot, so I will at least order for Kim and I, and sometimes even for two meals to make it
Mm.
worthwhile. So that's my second go-to, and the third would probably be anywhere we can get a Japanese restaurant, decent
Right.
Japanese restaurant, because then again there's always choices that you can make, right? So some sashimi, some grilled fish, mackerel. So that's kind of been usually our default. We kind of rotate around those few, and then in 3 months' time, it may look very different. But right now, it looks like there's a lot of Nando's, Kobe's and Kale, some Japanese a couple of times a week, and sometimes Indian food with rice, veggies, and some curry, because you
So
can't
this is
really.
not banana leaf, right? You're talking the
No.
Indian
So it's
dishes,
not
right?
banana leaf. Correct. So there's a restaurant in TTDI where you can go and have a set lunch for like 10 ringgit. 10 ringgit, three
Okay.
vegetables, one rice, two curries. And it's three vegetables. It's awesome. So you go veggie, veggie, veggie. Sometimes all I do is just the veggies. It's a whole meal that you get to choose. And then it's always half the portion of rice, because in the Indian restaurants what they do, if you take less rice, they get offended. So you
Give you
got
a
to
mountain
stand
of
there.
rice.
You
Yes.
got to stand there and say enough, stop there, right? So some Indian food as well, because it can be healthy. There's no such thing as unhealthy food. I think you can always find a balance. So that's for me and Kim. Lately we always go out and eat together, and if I'm busy, she kind of orders the same thing as well, because she knows what I want. That's been my go-to. We'll get to some of the comments that we're seeing shortly, but what's your go-to healthy food option at the moment, Alvin?
At the moment, I would say Nando's is definitely number one. I think if you go through my
Wow,
Grab,
this show should be sponsored by Nando's. Just
it
saying.
should be, and it might be. We keep that fingers crossed. So Nando's is definitely number one. If you go through my Grab, Nando's is one of the top option. And anything besides that, Noel, surprisingly in Kajang, there wasn't much healthy option. So Nando is definitely one of the, I would say, only healthy options for me if I would order from Grab.
Mm,
Besides that, in Kajang, Japanese 100%. I feel most Japanese restaurants, somewhat because of the menu, you can
yeah.
make your meals there relatively healthy.
Yep.
Because most of Japanese dishes, I think you find mainly single ingredients foods. And my third option would be Middle Eastern. So we're looking at like Arabian, they have their carbs, which is the rice, they have bread, and a
Nice.
lot of protein. Yeah. So this will be my three options.
Yeah.
And we have shared ours. For those of you who are tuning in, do comment below. What are some of your healthy options in your areas, in Kajang, in Klang, in KL, in Johor? If you're tuning in overseas, what are some of the healthy foods that you normally go to, or is your favorite restaurant? In fact, if it's your favorite restaurant, we invite you to tag them in the comment below, so that we can
Yeah.
go and visit them and see what they are offering, and perhaps invite them to be on our series.
Correct. Let us know. I'm going to read some of the comments soon because Azrina just came on and said, I agree with Alvin. Kajang, nothing much. Azrina is one of our clients. She stays in Kajang. And I will tell you all this, and one day we'll go deeper into the story. But I think a couple of weeks ago, Kim and I took a drive to Cheras, and then we realized that Kajang's next door. And then we met up with Alvin, right? And so I opened my Grab app, and I couldn't recognize majority of the restaurants. And like, yeah, so it was hard. So different locations is different. I think I am very privileged to be staying in the KL area where we have access to everything, and I don't take it for granted. There are people out there who's like, Grab, there's nothing on Grab, depending where you're staying.
Yeah.
So the idea of our series moving forward and what we want to talk about today is really just, yes, health, not just healthy restaurants because they're all in KL, but really healthy options. And what can we do if we're surrounded by food that's not so conducive for our health goals? What can we do? What are some of the options? That's what we want to discuss and uncover in the episodes to come. And I'm going to scroll back. There's a bunch of comments I think I saw on Instagram. Alvin will later go up to what's on Facebook and LinkedIn. Kimberly is saying, welcome back, Alvin and Noel. Yay, awesome. Penny is here. Thank you for tuning in, Penny. We missed you 4 weeks. We missed all of y'all. Can I just say that?
Yes.
I just miss sitting here at 9 p.m. because normally at 9 p.m. I'm not sitting here in my home office. I'm sitting downstairs and chilling out. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Who else is here? My mom is here. Ida is here. Izwan is here. Penny is tuning in from, so this is our question earlier, tuning in from Penang. And the one thing that makes her happy and smile always is seeing sunflowers. Awesome. Just to let y'all know, all my sunflowers have died.
Oh.
Yeah. Because
no.
sunflowers is like one life cycle. You put the seed, you plant the seed, it grows, it blooms, and it dies. That's it. End of story. You want more sunflowers, you have to plant another one. It's not one of those plants which keeps growing. Sadly, right? Because it's such a pretty flower. Kimberly says kiwi makes her smile. I cannot disagree with that. We have Aruna tuning in from Banda Menjalara, and she says that funny memes make her smile. Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. I love that one. Ida Ghazali is streaming in from her couch. Never fails to make her smile scrolling through cooking utensils online. Wow. I love that one. Yes,
That's interesting.
Smile. Especially if you buy them, then it makes you smile even more. Thank you for sharing that. Clarissa's here. And yeah, so if you're just tuning in, comment below what is that one, where are you streaming in from, and what's the one thing that always makes you smile.
And we have some here from Facebook. So we have Kylie over here tuning in from Subang. And the one thing that makes her smile is a boyfriend. Awesome, Kylie. We have
better make you smile.
We have Sumita here tuning in from Kota Kemuning, and Leah. She said my Leah. I believe Leah is Sumita's dog.
Oh,
yes,
see, our pets make us smile.
Yeah, it's just like Kiwi. We have Charlene here from Kajang. The one thing that makes us smile is Big Bang Theory. That's the series, I believe.
I love that show.
I used to watch that. Like I think they have Sheldon and like a bunch of
there's like
scientists.
so many seasons. Like it's like never ending, right? But I love that show. I agree with you, Charlene. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
And that's we have it. For those of you who have questions, we invite you to comment any questions because we have Ask Us Anything segment coming up next. And you have something featured for us, Noel. I'm looking at the text over here, the script that said your invitation for someone to comment and what they will have, Noel.
Correct. Yes, because I think I wanted to bribe everyone today. And my bribe is, if it's your thing, is I am going to give you 1 week 1 week of access to our live stream classes that we run at my gym. It's our Heroes at Home program. We have classes every day, 7 days a week. And I'm going to give you 1 week free access for you or a friend if you tag and comment below, not just here in this conversation, but here. And if you go back to the post on my Instagram earlier that I made this morning, Elvin and I made a post this
Mm-hmm.
morning about the show, asking you to tag and tell us what are your favorite healthy restaurants, healthy cafes, like Alvin said, Nando's. So go and tag Nando's. Tag them because we want to discover them, because we want to ask them to come on our show. All right. So we're going to reward you with a free week of live stream classes. And if you don't want the free week, that's okay. Just tag your favorite restaurants anyway, because you all know your areas, your location. Maybe you're watching from Penang like Penny. I would not
Mm-hmm.
know which cafe in Penang has the best healthy options, but Penny would know. And we want to feature them on our show. And I will give Penny a free week of our classes. So that's my bribe to you. So comment below and also on the post or on our Facebook feed of this whole thing. And I'm going to give you a personal gift, which is 1 week of free access to our live stream classes. And I'll DM you details for that.
Amazing. So do tag them in Facebook and Instagram posts, and we will have a look at it later on. If you have any questions, our invitation is to comment your questions below, because one of our popular segment is Ask Us Anything
Yeah.
will be ongoing in today's episode. Now, as we move forward on our new series that we are just introducing in terms of healthy eatings, healthy options. Now, one thing that Noel and I want to talk about or highlight in this series, and it's a perception that I think a lot of us have, and I, especially as a personal trainer, a client comes to me and said, Alvin, eating healthy is actually expensive. So being a trainer, I want to, I don't, should I say debunk that, Noel, or I want to correct that, or perhaps I want to
Yeah.
invite a change of how we look at healthy eating. And maybe I can ask you first, Noel, is healthy
Yeah.
eating expensive?
I think healthy eating is a matter of how we're looking at it, right? Because, I mean, just look at what we're spending our money on all the time, right? Again, I'm not saying this is everybody, but typically the people that I work with, no issues with meeting up with their friends a couple of times a week, cafes, breakfast, 15 ringgit coffees, dinner parties, weekend drinking, all of that, no issue, because hey, social life, right? I'm going to do it. But
Mm,
suddenly, when you bring up healthy eating, suddenly the issue of cost arises. Your friend asks you out for a birthday party, or you want to throw your friend a birthday party, or if you want to party in the weekend, do you bring up cost? Probably not. But now, when we ask you to eat healthy, suddenly cost becomes an issue. Now, I'm not saying that healthy eating is cheap, but I'm saying it's a matter of perspective and what you prioritize. If I prioritize social gatherings and all that, all my time, energy, and money will go to that.
right.
It really is, it's as simple as that. So I'm going to say, I'm not saying that healthy eating is cheap. I'm just saying that we choose where we want to spend our money, and that's entirely up to you. Like for me, I don't go partying. I don't buy big fancy fast cars. I could, but I would rather spend that money on eating better food. And that's just me. And that's just me. It's a
Right.
matter of priority. Not that I can't afford it, but do I want to afford it? So it's that's really it. So healthy eating is not expensive. It's a matter of perspective. And having said that, of course, there's ways to make it more affordable. If you're always eating out in the restaurant compared to a family who's home cooking, of course, you're going to spend 10 times more if you're always eating out and trying to eat healthy compared to a family who goes to the market twice a week and pre-plans and plans the meals for the kids, and it's going to be significantly cheaper. But there's a cost. It's not a money cost, it's a time cost, it's an effort cost, it's initiative. Do you want to do it or not? Right?
Yeah.
So it's not
I,
really
I
about
really
money.
do
Yeah.
agree with that, Noel. I like it
Mm,
that you put that it's how we see it because we can look at a handbag and say it's expensive, whereas someone else can look at the handbag and say, oh, that's not expensive. I think it's all
Absolutely.
how we put value into our
Yeah.
health, into our nutrition, into our lifestyle. Now, with that being said, I'm going to ask you, Noel, and everyone
Mm.
who are tuning in, how much is your average spending if you were to eat out? Is it 10 ringgit, 20 ringgit, 30, 50, 100? So comment below how much would you, I would say,
That's a great question.
generally
Yeah.
willing to spend on eating out on a
Per
on
meal, right? So if one
per
person
meal.
goes out,
Yes.
how much they want to spend. Yes, I love that question, Alvin. I think it really varies from people. Some people will
Mm-hmm.
not be willing to spend more than $5, and that's okay. And some people will readily spend more than $50, and because they can afford it. Great question. Comment
Yeah.
below, how much are you willing to spend for a healthy meal for yourself? And I'm going to scroll back and also read from some of the comments that were earlier here on Instagram, where we asked you all to comment where is your healthy go-to option. um, Penny is saying Yin's Sourdough Cafe. This is interesting, Penny. There's a Yin Sourdough Cafe here in KL also. Are you referring to the same one, or are you referring to one in Penang? So curious, but that's Penny sharing. Clarissa is saying La Juiceria all day, every day. Awesome. La Juiceria, actually, credit to La Juiceria. They've been one of the pioneers in coming up with a cafe that focuses on calories and healthy options and freshly pressed juices, and they have their own story, and maybe one day we can feature them. But I know the
Mm-hmm.
owner personally, and she actually embodies everything that they sell, so they are a good place. Awesome. I love that. Roy David is saying grilled chicken at Baker's Cottage. Awesome. If it's grilled chicken, I think that's a great choice. At Baker's Cottage, I haven't tried it before, but I'm gonna put that on my list to check it out one day. Um, and then hi Antoinette is here. It's a lot of conversation going in. Eunice is here. Just talking about croissants now from Yin Sourdough. And scrolling. Oh, so Penny says there's a Yin Sourdough in Penang and KL. Okay, awesome. So Penny, here's what you need to do. Go to our post earlier this morning and tag Yin Sourdough. Then I'm going to reach out to them and invite them to be on our show. Alvin and I have actually invited a whole bunch of people already,
Mm-hmm.
many cafes and restaurants that we love, and they have already agreed. It's just that we're in the midst of scheduling and getting them on our show. So we want to make this show something that you can hear from your favorite restaurant as well. Clarissa is saying that she would spend anywhere from 12 ringgit to 18 ringgit per healthy meal. Love that. Awesome. Keep your comments going. And Alvin, are there any comments on
Yes.
the other side of things?
Coming back to the question of how much are you
Yeah.
willing to spend on a meal if you were to eat out. So we have Kylie here say she's willing to spend about 15 ringgit. I love that. Keep them coming. And interesting speaking, when it comes to price, one thing also plays an important role is where are you eating? Now, if you ask me, in
Yeah.
Kajang, averagely 10 ringgit, you can get a pretty decent meal. Of course, I know if I were to have a meal, 10 ringgit in TTDI, what can I have? Maybe the
You
Indian
can
food,
have the Indian food because it's 9.90.
lunch.
Vegetarian,
that's
3 vegetable, 1 rice, 1 sambar, 1 rasam. That's all you get.
and that's lunch promotion.
That's lunch promo, yeah.
How much are you willing to spend on an average meal if you were to eat out?
I'm willing to spend about 30 ringgit. That's for me. But I would always drink water. Some people would like insist on getting a 15 ringgit drink, and that just cuts your budget in half. Drink water, lah. You want to, right? So I drink water and cut down my beverage costs and spend all the money in food. And you may be thinking like, wow, $30? You're crazy. But no, it's okay. I just value what I eat. I really want to invest in what I put into my mouth. That's just me. And some people will not want to even spend more than $10, and that's okay. That's okay. And I would rather spend more money on good food than a new pair of shoes. That's me.
Mm.
Some people would like, I need that $900 pair of shoes. So go ahead, that's all right. But I'll be like, I'm gonna wear the same shoes I've been wearing for 3 years, but I'll spend the money on my food. And that's me, Elvin. That's just me. But great question. I think this really makes us think about where we place our priorities. I really believe that you are what you eat. I really believe
Exactly.
that food can heal. Food is medicine. And if I spend
Mm-hmm.
all my money on better food, better quality, better restaurants, that's going to improve my health, then I don't have to spend my money in medical bills next time. Why eat
Mm-hmm.
junk now and pay so little, only to have huge medical costs next time, right? So that's how I look at it, and I'm happy to spend my money on food, my fitness, and my health. That's me. Yeah.
100% totally agree. And I like that you mentioned that, Noel. You want to spend most of your money on the food that you're willing to spend, 30 ringgit on the food. And also boils down to how we actually look at our meals. For example, let's just say it's 30 ringgit. Oftentimes, I mean, I'm sharing this because I can relate to as client comes to share with me, like they are willing to pay, for example, 15 ringgit for lunch. And then after lunch, as they are walking back to their office or walking back to their car, they will stop by and buy bubble tea. And that costs about 10, 15 ringgit. If you look at cost wise, it's about the same
Yeah.
if you were to add up the snacks and after meals, dessert into your main course. However, if you look at the nutrition point of view, like us as a trainer, we always said focus on eating 3 meals a day, like your breakfast, lunch, dinner. Make sure that your lunch and dinner are wholesome so that you don't feel hungry, you don't feel the need to eat. And I find that emphasizing on healthy eating for your major meals can somewhat set the pace of your nutrition, set the pace of your appetite throughout the day. And that's why we bring up cost, because on our guest that is hopping over into our series, we're going to have them to share what are some of their healthy options and how much it costs. And you'll be surprised that a lot of the healthy options available in the cafes, in restaurants, are not as pricey or are not as expensive as you thought they were. Some of them are very reasonable, and some of the meals are actually able to customize. For example, like switching fries for broccoli, and you thought, I didn't know that cafe can do that. So that's what we hope to highlight to you with our new series, which is go to places for and options for healthy eating. Is
Yeah.
there
And,
any
and
comment?
also just a disclaimer in case before everyone thought that Noel eats 30 ringgit meals 3 times a day. No, it's just how much I'm willing to spend. Occasionally, I will eat the 8 ringgit, 7 ringgit chicken rice and Chinese tea and be done with it. Sometimes I would not even have lunch. Sometimes I come home and I make a smoothie from all the vegetables that I bought 2 weeks ago and put in the
Mm,
freezer. So it balances out. But if I go out, how much am I willing to spend? It's that. Can I do that every day? No, it's gonna be crazy. It's a balance to things.
and
Do
I
I
think
eat
you
Nandos
won't do
every
that
day?
every
No,
day too, right?
no, cannot. No, I go broke. It's crazy, but it's about how much I'm willing to spend, right? So that's really it. And people are willing to go partying and spend 500 ringgit and buy a bottle of whiskey. I think it costs some exorbitant amount. 500 ringgit for a bottle of whiskey for 5 friends to have a night out. But ask you to spend 30 bucks for a healthy meal. Oh, cannot expensive, right? So again, coming back, it's a matter of perspective and your priorities. Okay,
Right.
back to comments.
So let's look at the comment if you what is your average spending, or how much would you willing to spend on a healthy meals? Do keep the comment coming before
Yeah,
we move
so
on to.
earlier Clarissa said 12 to 18 ringgit. Trolley girl Aruna is saying 20 ringgit. And she loves eating at Staple Eats at Arcadia. I've never heard of that place, Aruna. Worth checking out. Penny is also saying 10 to 20 ringgit. Calvin Samuel, hello Calvin. Calvin's a good buddy of mine and fellow trainer. Spends 10 to 15 ringgit per meal. Actually, Alvin, 10 ringgit is actually very decent, really. You can get rice, you can get enough vegetables and a protein. It actually
Yep.
really is. Yeah, it's like for real. Looking at more comments, and if you're just tuning in on Instagram or LinkedIn on Facebook, what are we talking about? We want to know how much would you spend for a healthy meal. Comment below. We have Aja FM saying he or she says, I serve mama food to my husband and kids. I cook myself, like tosai, chapati, rasam is a must. There you go. I love the fact that you're cooking your meals yourself. Thank you for sharing that. Venu said, Jensen saying he's going to spend 20 to 30 ringgit per meal. There you go. Jensen's physiotherapist. He owns his chain of fitness physio studios as well. He's willing to
Mhm.
spend 20 to 30 ringgit. And occasionally I see Jensen eating these massive portions of chicken rice chicken, which I'm sure it doesn't even cost 20 to 30 ringgit. Right? So it's always a balance of things. Fahrenheit is saying he spends average 15 per meal, maximum 35. Yeah, it's for your health. Venu saying he would spend chicken rice, extra portion chicken, less than 10 ringgit. Correct. That's really how much it costs. And if you're staying like in Ipoh, for example, wow, you're going to get a lot more chicken. It's not going to cost you 15 bucks, right? It's kind of depending on
Right.
where you would stay. Thank you for sharing, Venu. Yes, those are the comments I'm seeing on Instagram right now. Do you see anything else anywhere else, Elvin? Or maybe we can proceed.
On Facebook, we are clear. And before we move on to our next segment,
Hmm.
we are going to feature some of the top cafes, restaurants, and places in Malaysia that are committed to make you healthy. And we're going to have them on our shows to talk about their menus, talk about how they prepare their food, and perhaps you get some offers and discounts coming from them. Okay, with that being said, we invite you to tag your favorite cafes, restaurants, or the place that you go to get your healthy food, or perhaps buy your healthy foods, being it like a grocery, a mart that it's nearby to your neighborhood. Tag them here. We will have a look and we will reach out to them. And if you have any questions, we invite you to comment below as we're going to move on to our next segment, which is Ask Us Anything.
Yeah, and having
And
said that, Alvin, there's a question that just came in from
yes,
Asia FM, who said just now that she cooks all the tose and rasam for her husband and the family. Such an amazing question, where she asked, "Why is it so hard to educate my husband?" Asia, can I ask you for a favor, Asia? Can you copy the same thing that you just asked and paste it in that little question mark icon that you see on Instagram? That way we can feature your question and everyone gets to benefit from that. Okay, but I'm going to read that out for now. It's a fantastic question and this just hits hard, hits home for many people. Why is it so hard to educate my husband or wife and kids to take healthy food? I am so stressed. I love salads, they don't. I love plain water, they don't. So here's the thing, Aja. Here's what I'll say. Then I'll pass it to Alvin if he wants to add. I think you can't force this thing on anyone, but what you can do, so let's focus on what we can do, okay? What we can do is we can be an example. You can set a standard. You can show them that you're enjoying this. You can show them that I'm eating this and I'm happy. You can and still cook for them what they want, but uh, if you're here's the cool thing also, if you're cooking all the food, actually technically you're in charge. You decide what they get to eat, right? But I get it, they don't want to eat certain things, but you have a little role that you can play. You can sneak in some vegetables in some foods for your kids and they may not even know there's some veggies in there. You can get creative, but the bigger picture is that you be the leader, you be the example. You show them that healthy eating is great. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with drinking water. I don't need this. And one day, when they're ready, when life hits them and they look at mom and like, well, mom's always been doing this. Okay, mom, you know what? I think I want this too. Yeah. So, and just wait for that. I've learned over the years that you can never force your clients to eat something unless they don't want it. I can't force Kim to eat something unless she doesn't want it. She can't force me to eat something unless I don't want it. So, in the meantime, what can we do? We can just be an example to others. That's all. And don't let it disappoint you. The fact that I'm cooking, I'm doing all this, but the effort is going to waste. It's not going to waste. They're watching you. Your kids are watching you. Your spouse is watching you. Keep doing it. And one day, everything you teach them and you show them by example will one day they'll one day adapt that. That's my advice for your fantastic question. What about you,
I
Alvin?
love
Anything you
I
want to
love
add
that,
to that?
Noel. I think I'm going to add on to that is changes begin within yourself. So when the people around you,
Mm.
be it your friends or family, when they see you starts to change the way you eat, the way you look, the way you feel, they would want to know more. They are attracted to the positive changes in you, the positive aura that coming out of you. So when you focus more on yourself in anything you do in life, or in this case, in your nutrition, the positive effect will grow and will attract the people around you, and in this case, your family. And I can speak or share this with you that many of my clients, when they come to me, husbands, they will say that their wife controls the food. This is the other way around. And the wife is cooking, or the mother-in-law is cooking food that are not so healthy, and they have to eat it at home because family. So as in their fitness journey, as they slowly start to adapt healthy eating, slowly being aware of healthy food, healthy options, single ingredients food, and they kind of start by educating the people around them, sharing with their wife, sharing with their family. Hey, do you know that a balanced meal should consist of different color vegetables? We should eat slightly more protein. And when they start to understand, that's where changes slowly begin. So I guess it begins with awareness first, a bit of education, and that's what I believe Noel and I are doing. Is the first step is always to create awareness by educating our clients, educating our members, and we invite you to do that. Educate people around you of what a healthy meal should looks like, and then of course with you practicing it, and it makes it easier, like Noel said, because you are preparing the food. So it makes it easier to transition the people around you into what we call an action phase, which is actually adapting to it. And of course with patience, with love, and with support, it will, or it can become a lifestyle and habit. Yeah, so that's my answer to this amazing question.
Yeah, love that. And if you're a mom who cooks for a family, you're the boss. You get to determine what they eat. You're the gatekeeper of what goes into your fridge. Think about it, right? So you're actually in a very privileged position. So don't get disheartened that they don't want to eat this, don't want to eat that. You're still in control. Whoever cooks in the kitchen is in control. Awesome. Moving on. Next question. I saw something from anything on Facebook, Alvin, at the moment?
None at the moment. Let's
Not
have
yet? Okay.
Instagram.
Cool. Okay, this question comes from It's Me, Clarissa. Clarissa is saying, is counting calories, I'm going to let you answer this, Alvin, then I'll add on to that. Is counting calories important when trying to eat healthy, or is it not really necessary?
In my opinion, counting calories would not be my first step of recommendation to clients. My first step is looking at a bigger picture, which is having them being more aware of the food type. For example, having more single ingredients food in their diet, in their nutrition plan. So one of the first thing I'll do is have clients to write down the food that they eat. And as a personal trainer, my job is to provide them the guidelines. So I go on to Precision Nutrition, I go on to Ace Fitness, Ace Nutrition, and I share with them blogs, infographics on how healthy eating should looks like, and kind of go through with them, help them to understand that, hey, in a meal, you should have a balanced portion of complex carbohydrate. These are some of the lean proteins that you should include. Here are a handful of vegetables. And as a trainer, I understand their struggles, like, oh, Alvin, I don't like these vegetables. I don't like this. I want this. So I kind of help them or guide them to food that they are comfortable making changes with. So that is the first step. And I find that by focusing on the bigger picture, which is helping them to understand, because I feel most of them are aware of the food pyramid, aware of healthy eating or how to roughly eat. It is more on the motivation, the consistency to stick with it. So that is the biggest struggle. And that would be the first and most challenging steps. Counting calories comes in way later. And from my experience with years of my own personal training clients, I would say only 5% or less than 5% of my clients actually move into counting calories. Most of them see sustainable success by just focusing on the bigger picture and doing them consistently. So that's my take on counting calories. How about you, Noel?
Yeah, I think healthy eating means eating better, and eating better doesn't mean you need to do maths every time you eat. Let me key this in. Let me weigh this. It's necessary depending on your goals, but for most people, it's not. If your goal is just to eat better, you don't need to count calories. It's not
Right.
sustainable. You need a weighing scale. If you want your food to be accurate, because you're counting calories, everything needs to be weighed. Where do you want to take your weighing scale to? I know I've got clients who've taken it to Nando's before, but again, they're not really counting calories. But that's what I would say. If you like doing maths, again, we have clients who love these things, like they love the numbers, they want to be accurate. If that excites you, go ahead. But for the majority of people that Alvin and I have worked with, doesn't excite them. Just another 10 things to do on my list of, you count calories and no. Instead, focus on getting more vegetables, getting more fruit into your diet, sufficient protein. And those things don't require numbers, just visually improving them. And that's what I would say. Yeah, it's a very good question because people
Mm-hmm.
love counting calories, especially now with all those apps out there. There's so many apps that you can key in and you can select what you ate. Today I had nasi lemak for breakfast. Okay, 550 calories. Ooh, it's not accurate, by the way, in case you thought it was accurate, because you can buy nasi lemak from 5 different mamas, and every mama, the fellow who cooks it, puts different amount of rice, different amount of oil, different amount of everything, right? So you need to know also, if you want to count calories, you have to be accurate. So it's very, very stressful. And it's a very, actually counting calories, Alvin, it's a very advanced level of nutrition already.
Right.
It's not that I think it's good to know. I think at every point someone should at least know and have knowledge and awareness about calories, right? But is it necessary? No. Should everyone strive to get
Agree.
there? No. Just eat better, and it doesn't involve doing maths. Great question, Clarissa. Thank
Yeah.
you for asking that. Let me look quickly at what else is on Instagram. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. We are doing a quick Q&A. We're going to end soon. By the way, the show's ending soon. I'm going to lead Antoinette Claret's comment. We were asking earlier, like, how much are you willing to spend for your food? She says, I spent 28 ringgit for grill Mediterranean vegetables, avocado, quinoa salad instead of beers at socials. Oh, that's I'm gonna screenshot this. This is an Instagram post that I'm gonna put into a quote. I spent this so satisfying. Love that, because then one pint of beer is going to cost you $30 and you can have a healthy meal. I love that. Thank you for, as I mentioned, it's about perspective where you choose to spend your money. Thank you for sharing that. Comment below, my friends, on Instagram or Facebook and LinkedIn. Comment any questions you have for us. We're about to wrap up the show. And if you're on Instagram, click on that little question mark and ask us anything, as we are launching our series of nutrition based um, focus in the next few episodes, and we have a bunch of guests. And when I say guests, I mean restaurants, owners, cooks, chefs, nutritionists who have indicated that they are coming on our show in the next few weeks. So look forward to that. And I'm going to pass the time back to Alvin. Alvin, what's up next for our show tonight?
Our next segment is a little announcement that Noah and I would
Mm,
like to share with you. So, being, I would say, our talk show, it's called Two Guys and Their Gym. Over the past 4 weeks, Noah and I have come together. We have put our heart and soul and our mind into it, and it is official. We have our Two Guys and Their Gym.com, which is our website. So, if you were to Google Two Guys and Their Gym, our little podcast audio site will appear. And if you enter there, what you see is a list of our past episodes that are downloadable to you. Did I say that right? Downloadable
yes.
to you in audio file. You can also view the video recordings, which is our mainstream that is on Facebook and LinkedIn. And you have our notes, our points, our summary of each episode with its call to action. So, for example, on episode 35, Noel and I talk about fitness tools that we discovered that week. Or let Noel show and tell on um, Wyman's blueberry. Am I right? We have the
Absolutely. I
link.
had it today for lunch. Okay. Go on.
Or sunflower seeds. We have all the links. So it is in our show notes. They are all available in our website, twoguysandtheirgyms.com. I'm going to put the link on our Facebook version. It is in the comment right now. And if you just Google Two Guys and Their Gym, it will appear on your Google search. So do hop over in there. And if you
Yeah.
want to get instant notification, just drop us your email in the website and we will put you in our mailing list where you get constant updates on upcoming episode and the summary of the previous episode. You stay up to date with us and we also can reach out to you for any goodies or for any upcoming news. So that's our big announcement. And I'm
Yeah, that's
super
that. And
excited for that,
also,
Noel.
we are going to get everything on Spotify as well, on a fully audio version. So if you're, stuck in a boring meeting with your colleagues, or if you're walking and you're bored, you can't look at the screen and walk and drive at the same time. You can now listen to us. So stay tuned for our upcoming series episodes. They're going to be on Spotify as well. So don't just get to see us, you get to hear us, you get to sleep by the bed and play us and set to sleep, and just, yeah, we are coming into your lives in a whole new way. But yes, that's an we're glad that the website is up, and again, we are grateful for all of y'all, really, for making that happen. uh, Episode 51 will not be happening if it's just Alvin and I going on Instagram every day talking to ourselves. It's all of y'all.
Right.
It really is all of y'all. And I sent an email to all my clients today just saying that if you look beyond, it's Valentine's Day today, right? Y'all, yeah. We got a good turnout today for Valentine's Day. I would think that everyone's
We
having a date or
do.
something, but everyone's here, which is great, right? And if you look beyond Valentine's Day being all romantic and all of that, it's really about appreciating and showing gratitude to someone else. That's really what it is. So Elvin and I want to say that we are grateful for all of you all. Happy Valentine's Day, and we are grateful for you all. We love you. Thank you for supporting our show. Thank you for being here on a Valentine's night. I was kind of a bit afraid, as in like, oh my god, no one's going to be here because they're all having a date. No, you know what? You know what, Elvin? Here's the thing. From what I'm seeing on my social media feed, right? Everyone that I know on my circle had their Valentine's yesterday,
Yeah.
because I see that, Valentine's Day with my hubby, and I see it's 22 hours ago. That's yesterday, right? So, and to be fair, I did that with Kim also. We went out last night and had dinner. We had Japanese, because we knew that Monday night would be crazy. Why go when everyone's going out to be crazy? So for last night. So thank you for being here. Last call for questions. Also, this episode lives on. We're going to post up the recordings in a new website and soon on Spotify. And we look forward to connecting with you.